Hello and welcome back to Ruang Didik Podcast, brought to you by Hive Educators. For this episode, we have Cikgu Sean, who is part of the Google Educator group in Serian, Sarawak. He is also a Cikgu Juara Digital 2023. So, we are going to explore about Sarawak's education digitalization gap and also how it has been addressed in Sarawak. Okay, Cikgu Sean, how does the lack of digital infrastructure and connectivity in schools across Sarawak impact students' access to online learning resources and educational technology, particularly in rural and remote areas?
When talk about lack of digital infrastructure and connectivity in school across Sarawak, which when we talk about impact, I can give you a sort of micro lens of what really happened to the kids and even to the schools here. Let me zoom you in, where, for example, as an ICT teachers or even as academic teachers, when we bring kids to the computer lab or even mama computer, where we call it, kids tends to sort of only know how to touch the computer screen, which is sort of different from when they use their phone. Even when they use their phones, they sort of show some gap where they only use their phone to play game and even watch YouTube, which is a sad state, and which of course sort of dampen the digital infrastructure connectivity in school across Sarawak. And when we talk about infrastructure, so far only one initiative by the Sarawak government that really shows some light, which is the SDEC, or we call it Sarawak Digital Economic Corporation Berhad, which is a semi-state government company, where they introduced my SRBN, which is a broadband where they used to connect those rural areas to internet lines. For information, these lines use Celcom lines to help those community to connect it and pay at the lower fee, which for me it helped a lot. It helped a lot at one extent, where at least those B40s families can have access to internet. And when we talk about infrastructure and connectivity in school, when we talk using SDEC, the SDEC gives schools for this internet connection for free. Where they no need to pay anything, as long as these towers are nearby and they are on those government funded building, where they don't need to pay anything. Like my own school, they don't need to pay anything. And it did help, at least have the community have the chances to sort of connect it themselves to the internet world. And when we talk about impact student across access to online learning resources, at least if those students willing to access to these resources, they have the chance, they have the opportunity where when they Google it, they will find the information that they want. And if those homework, those tasks require those kids, yeah, those schools, those teachers to find their resources, at least there are some hope where this line will sort of help them, but not fully. But yeah, at least they have the chances to gain those access. Yeah, yeah, and it help. And when we talk about rural and remote area, mm, if we check on their website, on their SDEC website, they sort of slowly expand it to schools, to areas, to those remote areas that don't have internet connection, because yeah, they did need wiring for this unified line and everything. And yeah, I think this is sort of the best thing that sort of help those school across Sarawak, to those kids that are impacted, to have a better access. And when we talk about impact in the overall sense in Sarawak, mm, I can say that only those urban area have the bigger chances, bigger opportunities, where unlike those rural area and sub rural suburban or sort of rural also, uh yeah, there's the gap. Yeah, the gap did exist. And yeah, when we talk about opportunities, when we talk about chances, yeah, those in rural still sort of play a bigger chance in gaining more information, because uh the gap exists in the awareness of students in rural and remote area, where sometimes yeah, it, they still show sign of ignorance when come to uh, gaining or try to grasp the online learning resources that are vastly available online, though they have the internet, some strong or moderate internet connection in the area. Yeah, back to you.
Okay, thank you for that, Chico Sean. So, yeah, kudos to SDEC because I think they have done their part, and also they have made efforts to expand digital infrastructure and connectivity in schools across Sarawak. And I think this was uh, like not only Sarawak but also the whole of Malaysia have realized that in Sarawak and Sabah as well, that there are a lot of lacking of digital infrastructure in these two states. So I guess when you mentioned SDEC, I believe they have to make some effort to help schools in Sarawak, because right now everything is going digital. Even now we have KPM has the digital education policy, so I believe this is like Aztec is complementing the efforts of the government to expand digital infrastructure, especially to rural and remote areas. And earlier you mentioned about your some of the students, they know how to use their phones, but they don't really know about perhaps they're lacking in still lacking in other areas of digital literacy. So in terms of disparities, what disparities exist in terms of digital literacy and skills among students and teachers as well in Sarawak, and how do these disparities contribute to the education digitalization gap?
Right, that is a good question. What disparity exists in terms of digital literacy and skill among student and teacher in my own state? Yeah, when we talk about literacy, digital literacy, we are focusing on access, manage, and understand, and even integrate and communicate, evaluate, or even create information that they gain from the internet. When we talk about that, I come to the very basis of thing, digital literacy for kids alone, for my uh, s- for my school. Ability to access and manage is a struggle, is a challenge itself, because yeah, uh, kids know their stuff. Kids know smartphone. Yeah, kids today, when we say rural kids, everything, yeah, they know their smartphone. When we when we talk about access everything, this is where they fall apart. Why do I say fall apart? Is where like for example, if I bring my kids into the computer lab, they only tends to they really don't know how to use the computer to its maximum, to its optimum potential. Where yeah, even for example, if I bring in my year 2 or year 3 kids, which is supposedly if say in urban schools, kids already know how to press the mouse everything already. But sadly, in rural school in Sarawak, when I bring these kids into this computer lab, they only tends to know how to touch the desktop. I know where they sort of learn that from is from their smartphone, which I think is a sad state. And yeah, this is one of the digital literacy that I think they are sort of let off. And yeah, and teachers, I think teachers play a important role, but sadly in rural schools, in most rural school in Sarawak, and in the micro through the micro lens of my own school, most of the teachers here, majority of the teachers here is almost retired. I don't know why. I don't know why. Uh, as someone who used to teach in the West Malaysia schools, yeah, West Malaysia tends to have more younger teachers, but when it comes to Sarawak schools, in the sub uh, urban rural schools, there are more teachers that almost come to their retire uh, retiring age. And when we talk about retiring age, it will come to a point where it will connect to some mindset where yeah, they tends to not willing to learn more because they felt that there's no necessity to learn more, and then yeah, and then bring into the class. But yeah, as you know, the world is changing. The world is changing, and yeah, this definitely contribute to the education digitalization gap. Yeah, the gap exists due to that. Yeah, and when we come to kids also, this disparity also happen because of parents. Yeah, yeah, parents, for me, play an important role. Not only the teachers. Yeah, where do they're given the chance to learn it in their long houses, or even their houses. Yeah, because yeah, like I told you before, they only use it for playing games and watching YouTube. And for me, that's that shouldn't become a habit in kids. Yeah, when it comes to digital literacy. But instead, parents and teachers, like younger teachers in my school, yeah, we try to expose them how to sort of use these tools. When I say tools, is like mobile phone, or even uh, smartphone, or even those desktop computer, to uh, sort of find those important information regarding to their assignment or everything. But sadly, yeah, only those younger one in my school, or younger than me, or 30 like me, those teachers in their 30s like me, that willing to go a bit further for the kids in my school. And yeah, it indeed sort of take ages so that the gap is being closed. And in my opinion, the gap, or based on, if we say the whole Sarawak, yeah, it indeed still take a few more years lah. Take for example the the best example is ERPH. Yeah, when we talk about ERPH, most of my senior teachers tends to not wanting to adapt to that changes, not wanting to adapt to that changes. That is already a one stumbling block to digitalization gap, where they only sort of bow to how to use the word bow to filing and even paper, which for me is a waste because at this point of era, we should go paperless, and we should sort of save more trees also, since we have all the technology around us. And for me, teachers shouldn't uh, create a digitalization gap among ourselves also, because yeah, as we know, those teachers almost nearing their retirement age, they have all those money, they're able to buy those laptop, those better iPad, everything, but they choose not to, which is a sad uh, test sad state. And further on, when we talk about ARPH, they're not willing to learn. They're not willing to take on this new stuff, which I think is quite simple. It's quite easy for them to adapt and to use, but because of their mindset of no, I don't want, hence uh, they don't adapt. They're not able to change their lifestyle of teaching. Hence, yeah, the digitalization gap happen in school. Yeah, and this not only happen in my school, but other nearby rural schools also in my area. Yeah, where teachers also sort of want to make it happen, but it's been pulled down by this teacher. Yeah, this uh not only happen in my in SK school in Sarawak, but some SJKC school also. As I have one friend in the neighboring school also sharing the same thing. Yeah, when he did get ready with all the system already, but sadly those senior teachers just not willing to adapt to this new culture of digitalization. Yeah, which I think is a stumbling block to make it happen. Yeah, when it doesn't work at teachers level, it's hard to work at the student level, because to change a school, yeah we can't do it individually, but we need a team. Yeah, back to you.
All right. So you mentioned about that the students, they only know how to play their games on their mobile phones or go on YouTube or even TikTok. I have I remember a friend of mine told me that he also had this problem. He was frustrated that his students only know how, they have mobile phones and all that, they go on YouTube, they play their mobile games and go on TikTok, but when it comes to other stuff, I believe yeah, it was something to do with digital stuff on the student's laptop. The student was not able to navigate all of the features on that particular application on the laptop, so it frustrated him. Yeah, so I guess it's similar to what your student has experienced and also what you saw. And with regards to ERPH, yes, I do believe that this thing it should be nationwide. It should be used nationwide, but sadly, sometimes it's not because of disparity in infrastructure, but it's also because of the mindset. Sometimes the problem is not the infrastructure, but it's the mindset. Yeah. So we've talked about the disparities, but I'm sure there are certain solutions, when it comes to adapting to the shift towards digital learning environments. So, the next question: how are schools in Sarawak doing this? Or maybe you can talk about your school or other schools that you know of, and what challenges do they face in integrating technology into the curriculum effectively?
Yeah, to answer the first question, how are schools in Sarawak adapting to shift towards digital learning environment? Yeah, actually, at the JPN's state, JPN Sarawak, they did try their best already. They did try their best. I also see their best in sort of uh making school adapt to this new shift. Yeah, to to this new shift or digital learning environment. Uh, where it indeed take time. It indeed take time. Yeah, when we talk about digital learning environment for Sarawak, when I compare to West Malaysia, because I used to teach in West Malaysia in Johor before, I can say that the gap in between my state and Johor alone is like 20 years apart. Where our overall Sarawak, the school, the kids still sort of uh was sort of whether I want to go further or not in this digital world, because it all boils down to the mindset of the leaders and even the teachers in schools, because it indeed take time. And what are the challenges do they face in integrating technology in curriculum effectively? I will sort of bring in three challenges which I think play an important role. The first one is, of course, the community, the parents. Yeah, because in rural schools, in SK especially, because most of the parents are in the B40 sort of situation, sometimes they're not willing to spend a little bit more, for their kids. Yeah, which I think is a uh, sad, sad state lah. And I think that the community itself need to be educated by the teachers. This is where the teachers have to come in. Yeah, where yeah, if we can't convince the parents, how can we convince them to educate the kids to have this digital literacy, not only in schools but also in houses? Yeah, yeah. And the second challenges that happen in Sarawak uh, are the teachers. Yeah, why do I say the teachers? Because for your information, most of the teachers here, yes, is at their retiree age. Take years lah, take years to really get them into this new changing education environment. And even to convince them to take out the simple uh, Google certified educator level 1 cert also take some courageous, because they will tend to say, I don't want to take it, I don't want to take extra thing. Yeah, which I think uh, it poses a challenge, even though it being sort of uh, called by the government to change our teaching style in the recent year. And yeah, and the third one is kids. Yeah, kids here are kids here sort of full of challenges when it comes to digital literacy, where yeah they they don't know how to use it properly in finding their resources. Because when we talk about curriculum, the most sad thing when we talk about curriculum, we no need to go even further into digital stuff also. Uh, when we ask kids to bring back their homework, they will come back with the same book to us also, meaning to say that they don't even touch their homework, don't even able ponder to open their book to do their homework. Yeah, and this back to the first stakeholder that I mentioned just now, the parents play an important role. But kids, kids lack of awareness, which pose this sort of uh challenges in integrating technology in the curriculum effectively. Because as we know that slowly, or even in, I believe, in the new curriculum in 2027 later on, there were going to be lots of um QR codes or even AI thing inside the books, which they have to make use of the smartphone they have. But when we talk about this, sadly they only use these two to play, to do nonsense thing. And when we see parents, they indeed chase for better salary, everything, but you fail to educate your child, which I think hopefully there is some awareness program for parents, that the whole Malaysia can do. Because yeah, we can see that West Malaysian parents are more advanced, but when we come to Sarawak, we have lost to catch up. Yet there tends to be ignorant. When I say ignorant, is that we push them to go for it, to go for digital, but majority of them tends to be reluctant. Only those who come from a little bit better family will act upon the the mission that younger teachers put on their children. And those are the kids that, for me, sort of given their self an opportunity. Because most of the time when we talk about this, those students that know how to access to this information tends to score better in their test, in their PBD, everything. Meanwhile, those who use mobile phone to play everything, sadly, they sort of didn't perform well in their usual assessment. Back to you.
All right. So, despite all of these challenges and also like earlier the disparities, you mentioned Sarawak government has done a lot in their own capacity to help schools and also students in bridging this digital gap. But how about other initiatives or programs, maybe perhaps from corporate social responsibilities or maybe state leaders or maybe constituency leaders and also maybe some non-governmental organizations perhaps they have lend their hand to help to bridge the gap in Sarawak, and also what strategies are being employed to ensure that all students have equal access to digital resources and opportunities.
Okay, talking about initiative and programs, uh, I take the reason based one that I'm as a young teacher, I'm sort of happy that Teach for Malaysia did send their teachers to my school, where these teachers, they are very supportive of this digitalization initiative. Where, for your information, for my school alone, they try to get Starlink for my school, which I think is a good thing. Because sadly sometimes the school sort of blackout from those electricity, or even from phone call connection, everything. And I believe that by bringing in Starlink by this Teach for Malaysia teachers, it's a good way to uh, bridge the education digitalization. Because I think that is a first stage. Even though I put it at the moderate speed. Where moderate in a way that maybe our school connection will be much more stable after this, and kids were willing to take on computer clubs, or even take on digital skills that they are not willing to learn before due to the line in our school, because sometimes when teachers open the DB, sometimes it's sort of fail to disconnect due to poor lines, everything, even though we have already installed my SRBN or even the school Celcom line already. Yeah. But anyway, when we talk about initiative, our school also do our best. For your information, 3 years ago, we did write a proposal to YBs and even companies, and then yeah, we did manage to get 10K to buy all sort of buy all smart TVs to the classes in my school, and yeah, at least they have access to outside world through this initiative. And yeah, when we talk about nearby school around my school, yeah, Leo Club did help also. Leo Club did help also. And then yeah, further on, uh, we hope that there are more and more uh, companies were willing to help us after this, because yeah, it sort of take take some time to get the proposal done and everything, because yeah, we need to go through lots of stages, but uh those are the stuff that we have done so far, which I think is a good thing. And then yeah, when yeah, what strategies are being employed when we talk about this, so that all the students have equal access digital resources and opportunity. When talk about this equal access and opportunity, we try to put everyone at the same playing field. But yeah, it indeed have its own challenges, because when we talk about digital resources and opportunity, when we talk about those competition and everything, my school um, tends to have more challenges than good benefit from it, because yeah, everything, when we talk about digital resources, digital stuff, digital competition, it indeed needs some sort of funding, and it sort of deter them to exposing them to have a a good playing playing field for them. Yeah, so that they are exposed to the digital resources, because our strategies so far, what we have done is sort of bring kids to the Mama computer, bring to the computer lab where they indeed exposed to the internet stuff, internet thing. But yeah, it still take time to get them to get used to it, because yeah, there are little exposure at home. Yeah, yeah, that's why I say when opportunity and resources, when we talk more on opportunity, yeah, I will put uh everything at moderate stage for the for Sarawak schools, everything. Yeah, especially in the rural and the remote area, because the awareness in kids need to start from house. And when we talk about house, we need to educate parents. And yeah, it still take time for us to get them to get used to what they have. And the most that we can do is at least open those smart TV, let them know that they can do this, they can do that, like those robotic thing that available outside. If they're willing to go further, yeah, they have the opportunity to expose to even more chances to play around with these electronic things. Yeah, play even make use of the smartphone to their optimum of potential. Yeah, so that yeah, it will not only change them later, but also impact them later. Yeah, back to you.
Okay, yeah, so it's good to hear that despite all of these challenges and disparities, they are still grassroots initiatives or programs that are in place, and also I believe that you have done within your best capacity to employ a lot of strategies so that students have equal access to digital resources and opportunities. So I believe, even though maybe in terms of resources they are limited, but still there are other opportunities out there that can help teachers or schools to bridge the education digitalization gap. And so, speaking of education digitalization gap, how does the education digitalization gap affect students' academic performance, engagement, and overall learning outcomes in Sarawak? Maybe if you don't have the data for the whole of Sarawak, perhaps you can only mention about your school and also the schools that you know of, and also perhaps explain a bit about what measures can be taken to mitigate these effects and promote digital inclusion in education. Earlier you mentioned about students, they only know about, they know how to use their phones by playing mobile games and also go on YouTube. But I believe now we are going to talk about the effect on students' academic performance, engagement, and overall learning outcomes. So, what do you have to say about that?
When we talk about digitalization gap and how it affect for my school, those kids sort of lose out in lots of way where they are not really fully exposed to the ability to use those site those internet to their advantage, where some of the tasks when require them to search their end up, just use their own personal knowledge to do their stuff, which is a poor thing to see. And when we talk about engagement, they only tends to follow their idols. But when we talk about knowledge, everything, it affect a lot, because yeah, I think knowledge searching in internet indeed have their own uh, guide that teacher need to put there for for kids to follow, because yeah, most of the time, like I said before, they only tends to use their smartphone to play games, and yeah, it's a sad state. And hence, for me, this sort of, because one, the smartphone didn't use and even the computer didn't use to its potential, hence whatever performance for whatever tasks that we give to them, it sort of make them uh, still performing poorly. Yeah, performing poorly in their learning. And yeah, if I say overall in terms of my school, um, we sort of lose out to lots of school in urban areas in Sarawak, where yeah, those kids know what they are doing, and hence when they know what they are doing, they can use it to their advantage and solve more problems that are given to them more easily. And and the gap is sort of uh you can see it happening, yeah, in school, if we say comparing urban and rural in Sarawak alone. When we say problem solving tasks, students tends to lose out when it comes to digital gap, uh, where remote school area students don't know what they are doing, even though they have the tools given to them. And yeah, even though like my uh like uh what we are pushing in our school uh will help a bit, but not fully, because all in the end, all will return back to the kids and the parents, where if they're willing to go a step further, they will indeed close make the gap closer. And yeah, what measure can be taken to mitigate this effect and promote digital inclusion in my school? Yeah, I can say that the best measure is awareness and education, because everything had to start at the at their own houses. Even yeah, like my school, if we say tasks, sometimes when we give tasks to them, when they try to we ask them to do their homework in their house, they tends to come back the homework exactly the same like what I see in the school in the previous day. Yeah, if I saw their book blank, the next day their book will come back blank, which is a sad state. And the most that we can do is remind them and yeah, create awareness in parents. And yeah, we did try our best. We did try our best, especially the younger teachers in my school. Yeah, we did try our best to reduce this effect and promote digital inclusion, because yeah, it's not easy. And yeah, most yeah, even though we have smart TV in our school, the most that we can do to reduce this is yeah, try to teach them, try to sort of integrate them in our daily lesson. Yeah, where we sort of give them the chance to have a peek on what is happening outside of their classroom. Yeah, because they tends to be in their own bubble. Yeah, which I think need to be changed. Need to sort of get them aware that yeah, they need lots of changes. They need to change themselves. Yeah. So yeah, so through this exposure in classes, through this teaching in classes, at least they know that, okay, teacher, saya perlu berubah supaya saya dapat melihat benda-benda di luar. Yeah, that's what the most that we can do. Yeah, the exposure, yeah, that we try to bring in, but yeah, is you sort of feel it some little success, but not overall 100% success. Because, like I said before, for Sarawak alone, if we compare to the most technological state when it comes to BC Johor, we still sort of left, sort of have the gap of 20 years behind them. Yeah, back to you.
All right, thank you for that. Yeah, so you mentioned repeatedly about awareness. So I believe in everything it has to start with awareness, because without awareness, then there won't be no action. But at the same time, awareness must come with action, must be followed up with action. So I hope your school can have that increase of awareness, not only among students but also among the teachers, among the community. Yeah. And so, okay, this is the last question. So you are part of the Google Educator group in Serian, and also part of Cikgu Juara Digital 2023. So being part of this network, being part of these two communities, how has it helped you to bridge the education digitalization gap in your school, or at least in your community? Yeah.
Yeah, talking about these two, I will talk about Google first, because I'm sort of close to Google Educator. And yeah, when talk about Google did indeed bring chances to me to go out. Yeah, the reason one is Singapore, where I'm exposed to different sort of teacher outside Malaysia, where I have a chance to network. And this networking sort of uh, give me the chance to see that not only my school have this problem, but schools around the world, for example, Indonesia, our neighboring country, have this sort of problem also. The best thing about this is during this symposium, when do while doing this networking, yeah, I'm given sort of other ideas where I can go about with my smart TV. Because yeah, before this I'm sort of have hard time how to integrate whiteboard on the smart TV in a good seamless way, but uh, an educator from Indonesia sort of provide a better way where I can sort of install Chrome OS on my smart TV also and make it work on the smart TV where it did help a lot. And another thing is I got a I have the chance to connect my kids to kids around the world, which I think not many children in Malaysia have this chance. And I think the exposure of other culture will sort of help my kids in knowing that not in the world, not even in Bidayo only, and not only Chinese teacher but more than that have Koreans also. So I have the chance also. But when it indeed helped me to network to different sort of teachers that have different sort of ideas, which I am very thankful for. And for CJD, when it come to helping my school, everything, not much, but the most that I can say is CAD opened the chance for me to learn more newer courses that I can bring into my PDPC, which I think is important. And in other words, I'm not only always dependent on those Google app also, but there are lots and lots of other apps or even AI that I can use it to my benefit, especially in my PDBC in in the school in my daily lesson. And furthermore, I also given chance to expose to this, meaning that I also given the chance to teach that to my teachers colleague in the school also. And it indeed have its own challenges when it comes to this, but at least they are exposed to new things because they are because we have lots of schools. Not many schools have this other opportunities open to them unless they have CJD teachers. And like Google Educator, indeed, I have the chance to network with other uh, teachers in Malaysia also that have the same sort of mindset with me. And I'm very grateful for all these chances. Back to you.
Okay, so I think that is the beauty of being part of this sort of community. For example, like Google Educator, I believe you have this big international community whereby you each of the teachers from different countries, they have different challenges and experience in implementing digital education. So from your story, I think it's an inspiring one, even though it's maybe quite minor, but it has helped you to figure out how to uh, figure out a solution for your own context. Because from one teacher from another country to another teacher from another country who perhaps face more or less similar problems. So I guess that is all for this podcast, for this podcast episode. And thank you for agreeing to do this. It's important that we have you, as a teacher on the ground who is currently implementing digital education despite all the challenges. But you have also, other people or other organizations who are helping you out to so that your students can experience a quality digital education. And also because right now it's KPM is currently focusing on digital education policy, and we have a policy document saying that one of the strategies is to make teachers as experts in digital education. So I believe you are the prime example of uh, teachers being an expert in implementing digital education. So for that policy document, I believe it will take a long time for it to be realized. But with individuals and teachers like you can help inspire other teachers, even the teachers who are soon retiring. I understand that they are quite resistant because they are used to non-digital means, since they started teaching. And I believe because the world is undergoing a drastic change, especially during after the pandemic, whereby people are doing everything digitally now. But the great thing is everyone can get access to knowledge. Like for you, like maybe like you're learning about all the stuff in Google Educator, being part of the community, you were able to learn it because of digitalization. So without that, I don't think you would be able to be part of that community even. Am I right?
Yes, true, true.
Yeah. So once again, thank you for agreeing to be part of Hive Educators podcast segment. Yeah. So for our podcast, we only do once a month, and I also know that you have your own podcast, which is quite amazing. Yeah. So to the listeners out there, Chigushan also has his own podcast. Go follow him on YouTube. What's your YouTube channel? Yeah.
Champion Podcast and
Yeah.
Education Network.
All right. Okay. So that's a little bit of promotion for you. So to all the listeners out there, please go check out Chigu Sean's podcast, and I will link the YouTube channel under this video. Okay. If it's on Spotify, it will be in the description. If it's on YouTube, it will be under the YouTube description. Yeah. All right. So thank you so much, Chigu Sean,
Okay,
and
thank
that
you.
is all. Goodbye.
Bye, bye.